Hey guys, I'm Sean Carpenter. Welcome to Woodland Outdoor Adventures. Today on Fisherman's Corner we're going to talk spinnerbaits, guys. Spinnerbaits, as you know, man, it's like trying to buy a new boat or a new rod. There's so many different makes, models, sizes, shapes, so it can get confusing. And depending on what you're looking to do with that spinnerbait, it really just depends on you and the weather and the conditions that you're fishing in. So let's start out with something simple, and then we'll work up to some unbelievable stuff, guys. We'll start out with just a simple, small, it's not very big, maybe 1/4 of an ounce. And as you see, it has a double Colorado blade on it. Has one silver and one gold. The color just depends on, you always want to try to match what the forage is in that particular lake or pond or river, whatever you're fishing. You know, if you have a lot of silver shad in there or something like that, you might want to go with silver blades. If you have a mixture, mixed blades kind of works pretty good, guys. So it really just depends on what you're looking for. You can get into blades like these, and let me show you this blade. As you can see, it has a color in that blade. So instead of it just being a gold or silver, you can match kind of like the shad or whatever color the bait is in the particular water that you're in. This is probably about a 1/2 ounce, and again, it has a Colorado blade on the bottom as far as a small blade, and then it has a willow leaf, which you see it has some sparkly painting or design on it. You can get into all different colors on those types of spinnerbaits. This one kind of has a fire tiger. What I would use on this bait, as you see, it has no skirt on it. So what I do is I will peg it with a swim bait or something like that. This one here is actually a Bass Assassin Turbo Shad. Man, I love Bass Assassin products for the simple reason that they have so much action. You can see just a little bit. That's me being a little bit nervous, as you can see, but it's also just any kind of movement in that bait, man, has lifelike action. And to me, I want a bait that has a lot of lifelike action in it because it's going to seem more real to the fish once they get control of that bait or get it in their mouth. So again, it just depends on what you want to use on there. You can take the skirts off, you can leave the skirts on. It just, you know, it's your preference. Some of the other spinner baits, this one here actually has a Colorado and a willow leaf on it. The difference in this particular spinner bait is it has a full lead body on it, which on the front of it is shaped kind of like either a creature or a fish. So it's a little heavier. This one here is probably a 3/4 ounce with the weight that's on it. It's a small frame as far as the wire is concerned, but I love this particular, it's a kanji, which is a Japanese spinnerbait, but man, I'm telling you, with the action that this thing has with that body, as far as you killing it, it will go dart pretty much one direction to the next direction. So it has a lot of different action to it. I love this bait. You can get into some of the bigger baits, man. This one here, as you see, has a jumbo willow leaf with a Colorado, and this one here is probably a 3/4 ounce. Again, it just depends on what you want to run on them or the forage that you're really fishing for, the fish that you're looking for in that lake. Pretty much any kind of like signs that's going to give you the color or something that you can match the hatch, that's going to help you out a whole lot. Again, this one has a real big willow leaf and a Colorado, but it also has a big lead head, and I run a swim bait on the back of it. So coming through the water, and again, it has a lot of action of the softness of a bait. I know a lot of you guys, or some of you guys, love a harder bait. You know, there are a lot of them on the market. Z-Man has a lot of those baits. A lot of those guys have those particular type of baits. Myself, I'm not quite into those. I like something that has a lifelike action. And I know, yes, they last a long time and look good in a bag, but I'm telling you guys, I get more action off of a softer bait because of how that action looks more realistic to you. So again, just depends on you. I run a lot of different types. This one has a double willow leaf, as you can see. And again, I'm going to peg it with a Bass Assassin Elite Shiner. As you can see, these things, man, I love Bass Assassin again for that action that you see. Any kind of movement from that bait, man, is just like it's the real deal. And let's face it, who doesn't like the real deal? Those are just some of the, as you see, there is a pile of spinnerbaits here. So you can invest in a ton of spinnerbaits. A lot of guys seem to want to burn those spinnerbaits. Some baits are designed that you can burn them across the water, and in certain times of the year, that burning it across the water works really good. But I have found that the slower you fish that spinnerbait, a lot of times you're going to get a lot more action. I'm going to show you some stuff that I have created myself by using spinnerbaits, but actually changing them completely. So what I have done is I have taken the frame of a spinnerbait, which is as you see here. And basically what I did was I took a pair of nippers and I cut where the frame comes up about maybe an inch. I just cut that off. And then what I did was I took 100-pound monofilament that you would use for saltwater, and I attached it to the piece of the frame that was sticking up. I wrapped it with braid, and then I put glue on that. So actually it holds that frame together with those two pieces. Then what I did was come down, make a loop. It has a swivel and again a willow leaf blade, and it has a pattern in it. You don't have to use a pattern. And again, I just took braid, wrapped it so that it had the loop to hold the swivel. Again, I put super glue on that. And then what this is a pretty much weedless spinnerbait, guys. These things are flexible, as you see. So coming through weeds, grass, anything that this thing bumps into, I don't know if you can hear that. Sounds like jingle bells. Santa Claus has come to town, let me tell you. Because you're going to find that, man, you're going to change. You'll pretty much change every spinnerbait you got in your daggone box. So you can do it with just different designs, different shapes. This one here, I left the frame a little bit longer where it still had the loop in it here where your blade would actually go. I put a Colorado blade on that center, and then I just brought these two pieces of, again, monofilament up the sides. Same thing again, wrapped it with braid, put some super glue on it. Same thing on the ends. Again, we have some Colorado blades there. This one is a 3 blade, so you can run 2 blades, you can run 3 blades. It really just depends on you. You can run it with a skirt, you can run it with a swim bait. This one actually has a trailer hook on the end of it. So you can run them pretty much in any kind of cover. And again, guys, as you can see, I'm running my hand across this, and this thing will not hook you. But I can guarantee you that if a fish gets it, he's hung. That's why I run a little bit of a trailer hook on the back of it, just for that extra little, I guess, insurance you'd call it. I take these things, man, and I make different ones with them. You can use any type of spinnerbait that you want to use. This one here is actually a man's spinnerbait. They don't make them, or they've stopped making them, I'm pretty sure. They may still have a few in stock. You may check Tackle Warehouse, I don't know. But I love these particular ones because of the blades on them. They have a Colorado blade on them, but the Colorado blades are actually 14 karat gold coated. So it's not just a brass or a nickel looking type of material. It's actually coated with 14 karat gold on it. I don't use it for the gold. If you melted it down, you wouldn't get enough for probably a penny. But This thing, the slower you roll this bait to where you feel that wobble coming off the back of it, the more fish you're going to catch. And I promise you, with a man's spinnerbait, to me, they're hard to find, but brother, if you can find them, you better buy a bucket full of them, because that is the best spinnerbait that I have ever used, and I have used all types. So if you can find them, I would daggum sure buy me some of those man spinnerbaits. This thing here, as you can see, I run a trailer off the end of it, and it's just a split tail, kind of a grub looking type of creature. I've run a white with a blood looking skirt on it. They come with a chartreuse and white, but you can run any type of skirt you want to run on. This is another one that I made, and again, these spinnerbaits are all weedless, but believe me, if a fish hits it, he's going to get hooked. This one here, I painted the blades on it a fluorescent orange. I know that sounds kind of weird to you guys, but trust me, colors that fish haven't seen tend to produce more than stuff that they see every day, because it's a little bit different. So don't be afraid to experiment, whether it's with spinnerbaits, crankbaits, buzzbaits. I'll take a buzzbait and I will actually take the skirt off of that buzzbait and I will put a fluke on the end of it. And I love a smoking shad fluke. To me, that seems to be the best color for myself. Now, I know a lot of you guys love white and other colors, but whatever color works for you, I would daggum sure use them. Hopefully that covers a little bit of spinnerbaits for you, and hopefully I've answered a few questions. And if you have any questions, hey man, hit me up and let me know. Tell me what your best spinnerbait is. So until next time, guys, keep your lines tight and your hooks in the water, man. Keep fishing and have some great times.